All right, folks, take your seats, please. Okay. Feel free to step out for more coffee and water and the food that you may have to microwave to warm it back up. There's still more out there, so. How many people did not win something today? Show of hands. How many people did not win something? Okay. So if you're still here when we're done, you're going to get something. This meeting, I want everybody to walk away hopefully happy. Maybe not. You might be tired, so maybe it would be too hard to be happy. Something what? Grainy.
Information. He wants information.
Well, you're going to get a lot of info. You be the judge if it was good info, though. So anyhow, I have something for everybody before we leave. Before I forget, I want to thank Sarah for my assistant for helping me. It definitely helped and keep me on track. And most people have trouble keeping up. She's staying ahead of me, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Sarah. One of the things that Sarah's done is, we're always trying to help improve the info that we give you and provide you to make things easy. On your tables, you should see a flyer that's laminated with a bunch of QR codes front and back. These are here to help you if you are interested in any of the offers. You want to go see the property listings, you want to go subscribe to a tool with a discount. These are things that we use in our business. Hopefully you'll go do this too. But this was Sarah's brainstorm. This is a great idea. Rather than us trying to give you a link in the presentation and stuff, which is good too, but you have stuff at your fingertips here. So anybody not have one of these around somewhere? Haven't seen it? So use them, pass them around, share them with everybody. We don't have one per table. Anybody have a question before we get started again? Was the sponsors good? So I'm telling you, these people are here to help you and will take good care of you, so don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call. The only one not here today is Martin with Magnolia Title. I would recommend that, all his information is on the website as well. But if you need title work, closing deals, he's working on a deal right now with Sarah that's pretty difficult, and he's the guy to go to get help. Okay, so let me jump into this. I got a lot of stuff here. I hate to ignore questions, but give me a little time, see if I answer the question. Write it down if necessary, so you don't forget, because I want to make sure we answer them today, if I can. And let's get going. So you've got a bunch of QR codes here. More deals. You've all seen the property listings page. You should get emails about this every week. You can register for events there. Again, I think that's on your QR code sheet there on your desk. Ladies group, we talked about this. JJ, thank you very much. She's doing a great job in that group, and I encourage all the ladies to attend and participate, offer to help, teach. One of the things some of you, if you're new, you may think, I don't have anything to offer because I'm new. Well, lessons learned on what you've done to date is a good thing to share with new folks. Okay, it may be even something to share with a seasoned investor, because you may have discovered things, learned things that some people haven't thought about, talked about. So I would encourage you to come participate, offer to maybe present at one of the meetings, and see if everybody can benefit from it. Turning the tide. Let's give REI Group's blueprint for knocking it out of the ballpark in 2024. What's that mean to you? Tell me what you think we're talking about. What's your interpretation of the statement? That pretty well sums it up, doesn't it? Anybody else? What's that? That would be included. Absolutely. Okay. Anybody else? Say again? Naturally, we all want to improve from the past, right? Whether all the past was good, you still want to improve, or whether the past was bad, you want to make that better. You don't want to repeat mistakes, right? You want to learn from those. You want to move forward. Absolutely. Absolutely. Flexibility, being able to adjust with the market. And it may not just be a market you need to adjust to, right? May have to adjust to a family situation. You may have to adjust to a job situation or funding. But you have to be flexible. You got to be able to recognize that. So I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff today, and hope you can take notes. This is being recorded, so this will be uploaded to the group website, as most, I won't say all, but most events are, as long as I have no technical problem. Again, we thank Texas Bank for the solid internet here, so we can have a good recording capability. Happy New Year and welcome to the West DFW REI group for the new folks here. Thanks for joining us. We're going to discuss ideas and strategies to help you develop your blueprint or knocking it out of the park. When you go home today, I'm going to give you something that you can go print, and you can take notes today as well, but you can print it and go fill in the blanks as to what you need to do to help you develop your own blueprint. And I hope you find this helpful. I have to tell you, it may not, and most likely does not include everything. I did put this together in the last 2 weeks, so it's quite likely that I missed something. So if you have additional things that we should add, then we can do that for the next time around. If I made a mistake, I'll get my one mistake for the year done early. I'll have it out of the way. Before we dive in, who's got a success story or a challenge that happened to you during 2023 that you don't mind sharing? Who had a really good success story, or who had a real problem that's a learning opportunity for everybody that you don't mind telling us about?
Well, I'm always asking people to let me know if they know about any properties for sale or if everybody needs housing. Now, I got a couple of these houses. Builder in a tent in mom's backyard. Mom's doing a divorce, so she's selling the house. Since it's under contract, I think to mess with the mom because you want to interfere with that. But then you get to talk until it's like, the credit's not good, and you don't like, hey, it's not. What can we do with that? I encourage them to save and to credit something that want to do.
Is that a question or
Yeah, how do you help somebody like that? Buyers that don't have any credit from having done.
Well, there's a ton of people that have no credit. Doesn't mean they're bad people. They have no credit. They can't manage it very well. There's a ton of people that have bad credit and have a lot of money. They don't pay anybody else, so they save it, right? I've had home sellers and $300,000 homes tell me, yeah, we got a lot of money saved for an owner finance home because we know that that's what we're going to have to do. We're not paying this payment. So, they've told me that, but I'm making a profit. So people with no money and no credit, it's a little hard.
I would say just tell them to buy the house.
Yeah, or upgrade their tenant.
That would definitely.
Well, it comes about 18,000 a year. So That's why.
Have they applied for housing?
I'm asking about that.
They should qualify.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't think there may be waiting lists.
It's a shame, the number of homeless.
If they go to this outside to the smaller communities, which are the smaller cities.
We don't have time to get into, all the ins and outs of that, but this was meant to be a story. Did somebody have a successful story they want to tell us about? Just the learning from hearing what other people have done, or the problems they ran into that they had to deal with and overcome. That's what I'm after. Sir.
This is what you advise all the time, tell everybody what to do. It's not more or less, just not only that you're specific. It's a stupid. I mean, it was just not working. Because of the only one you could. How was that?
How hard is that? Tell people what you do. Right?
It's putting on her t-shirt.
Yeah. It can be that. It can be handing out a business card. It could be rehearsing your 30-second elevator speech, and whenever you run into somebody, tell them, I mean, there's so much benefit to it. I know somebody back when I got started 23 years ago over in Plano, going through all the same training I did, out there doing business. He refused to put, you've all mostly seen my Ford, right? You can't miss it if you're in eyesight range of it. He refused to even put a magnet on his truck or wear a Levi Houses t-shirt. Just, and in his church, we're talking about this church, big church, big involvement church. He refused to hand out business cards and tell people in his church what he did because he didn't want to think he was taking advantage of it. He ended up in bankruptcy. Not because of that, but a combination of that and some bad decision. We talked earlier, we're talking about using real tools, MLS data to make decisions. He was using a paid service that wasn't MLS data. He borrowed private money, borrowed too much because the comps service he used was inaccurate. He over rehabbed the house. Big lessons learned there. He couldn't sell the house. So the private lender got screwed. He got screwed and then filed bankruptcy. So remember the stories I just said? The good stories, the bad stories? That's what I was looking for. There's a lot to be learned from those stories. Right.
I believe in the fortune is in the follower. So they were on Friday in January. We were not but we still followed up. Literally, 2 days after we followed up, the original offer at 7. We can decide out of mind. We're not thinking about that. I say out of mind.
Absolutely. And for those of you that have been around a while, you've heard that more than once. All of the gurus will tell you that.
I have a friend, I don't know if it's a funny story or not. So we have a house here recently, over in Scott Series is what I call it. And it's on here to be. And I go over there one day, told her well, we thought we had everything locked up, the doors, the windows, and everything. But they could crawl underneath the and I walked in, and there's 2 guys, and they got scared. Anyway, they came up through our floors and we knocked them down the floors. So I made a deal with them. I really did. Maybe it's because we were afraid about material being stolen and things like that. So we asked them, and I said, hey, you can stay here if you'll protect the property. And I was told that was stupid from my insurance. But we did it anyway, because I'd rather have them in there because I really come back. So I asked them, I said, how often are you going to come back? And they tell me every time it gets so cold, they're like, we have to put your floors down. So they got a place to stay for 45 days. We can put them through. Here's the thing. they went and found us another property. They found us another property and said, can we do this? They did. So,
That is some creative bird dog in there.
the best part about it, we just had to let, we would bring them food and, and our place is protected.
That's one I've never heard of. Wow, cool.
I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but I thought just showed.
Oh,
That's
perfect.
good.
Perfect. So, again, the successes and challenges are all beneficial to us. Some people might call it use case scenarios, where you sit down and go through the whole deal. What did you learn? At the end of the day, was it all perfect? Or was there some hiccups along the way?
I learned this. I do not carry, but after that incident, I do not carry. I went and got licensed to do that. And if you're a single female, since you're in this place, I think I'm harmless. And that is so untrue, especially in our world today. I used to not be afraid. I mean, I would go to Dallas over there behind the state fair, by myself. It would be good at the time. But I would never do that today.
There are a lot of areas that any of us could be in danger in going into. But for the women in the room, I would recommend you don't go alone. Whether that's packing as your partner, that works too. But just think if that's
I would never consider it.
safety is a big factor.
I would never consider it until this lesson, until all that.
I don't think that you can do that with your good neighborhood, bad neighborhood. That happens everywhere.
It does.
You're
Nowadays,
a single woman, I would never go say I'm going to by yourself.
going,
I mean, it's not saying I'm not a strong guy, but it's just.
and you can go in good neighborhoods. If you're looking at vacant houses, still be a problem. So yes, protect yourself. Do it safe. Do it smart. There's so much that can be learned from those past successes and challenges, right? This is what we've been talking about. And those are going to be an important part of you developing your strategy and your plan for 2024 and beyond. So do any of you have funding challenges? Interest rate hikes, any of that affect what you did in 2023? Probably going to be there in 24 too, right? How about contracting challenges? Anybody? It all went smoothly for everybody, right?
Talking about contractors, I paid the guy, so we don't pay everything up front. Paid the guy for the work that he did. Okay, really great. Then I'm like, here's Jose, the initial plumbing work. Oh, you gave him enough money to get back to Mexico. He's not coming back.
You paid a strip home?
I'm like, I couldn't be saying. I was like, are you serious? And the electrician goes, yeah. I said, why didn't you tell me that? He said, he did what he did. I paid him for what he did. And so, and he had millions.
It's all kinds of stories. That's why you need to come to these meetings, because you hear stuff like that. You got to learn what you hear, listen and learn and adapt to it, So, by the way, all new members did. I sort of offer that. About that side, life is good. Michelle did that, by the way. Finding deal challenges. Was that a problem in 23? You think it's going to be better in 24? Hard to say, right? Maybe you got to change your ways. How about rental challenges?
Yeah.
Where's John? So renter challenges. Yeah. What kind of challenges? Finding, keeping, destroying your house.
The one we got, she's actually got her housing. Thank God I got the normal neighbor. I would make sure I involved. They told me everything that was wrong with the house or whatever. He did the house. I want guy that I make sure that he takes care of it. He let me know that the problem with it. She never called my property manager. So sometimes it's not always, I mean, you guys talk about. Think that somebody can do that, but that's a good word of it. Behind property, if the laws. That my guy tells me everything, so I have a problem. So not only the renter, but you know, the higher up around. That's kind of the part of that. But I pump. When you turn on water, it's cheap if you don't hear it. 8 hours but I got to see. She got a pump on it, about another. Take out the neighbors.
You get to know the neighbors is an important part of your property management.
Not only for the property, but also water, but also for nobody answers. I'm going to be responsible for this person.
Well, and also when you're flipping houses, you know, they can be part of your security package. Getting to know the neighbors around, so
Neighbors are important.
yeah. And there's a lot of stories we can talk about early rental. I've had a few buyer challenges, you know, trying to get buyers qualified. Whether that's owner finance or conventional financing, ITIN financing, there can be challenges. How about education and knowledge challenges? You get into a scenario where maybe you don't know enough to feel comfortable to move forward. Anybody like that?
It took me 3 years to buy a property. That was a conflict area where that's right. From this point forward, I
Subject to is an area, you know, come across a deal with a mortgage on, there's a lot of people that shy away from it because they don't understand how to do it. That would be an education and knowledge challenge. And that is an area that I highly recommend that you call somebody, whether it's me or somebody else in this group, call somebody that knows how to do something. By the way, should you ever turn away from a lien? You don't know if it's a deal when you first find it, right? But if you find a lien and the seller needs to sell, and you don't know how to do it, call somebody. That's another reason to build a network here in Cumberland Cement. Call somebody. Don't turn them away. If you know, especially if you know they need to sell.
Tim, remember that when I called you on, you said, I think we talked about this before, and you finally found it from over a year.
Yep. So I use a CRM called Real Flow, and I document everything that we do, every house we touch, every house we and analyze, and you know, so I have all that history. And when she called me and said, "So good, sure enough." So I had every bit of detail from our previous conversation about it. How about time challenges? Anybody run out of time? You know, so learning to do things smarter, implement systems that will help you, might help with that thought, right? About profit challenges. Or maybe even some losses. Anybody lose money? You may be afraid to say that, but anybody wish they'd have made a little extra money or thought they were going to make more money on a flip or something? And because it wasn't what you thought it was, what caused that? Hidden, unforeseen things?
Yeah, you know,
Increase in price?
so is the price of materials, this is no lie. I walked into Home Depot to check on the floor. Anyway, there wasn't a price, so the guy walks by and I'm like, hey, can you give me the price? He walks, he goes back and he goes, right now, this hour, it's this price. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, well, it can change in the next 3 hours. It's just like, okay.
Yep. It's crazy what the material cost is.
You know, that would be important to do. That's probably part of that. Somebody turned it on to ownership. You know. Well, I went doing a lot of molding. I'm molding baseboard and stuff. I went to the money. Look at this. 1/3 of the cost, maybe 1/10 of the cost, depending upon the mold. To really pay attention to the sources. Because they had it in stock. They had better quality and stuff. Were their hours the same? But I was able to get the actual material cheaper. Sure, it cost me money because I didn't count it, but
We could talk a long time about this very topic. It takes a lot of time, though, to do that due diligence and find the best sources. Sometimes we want to just turn it over to the rehab contractor and let them go do it. Well, are they looking out for your best interest? Or are they just looking out for time? This time is money, right? They want to get the quickest thing you get their hands on when it may not be the best deal for you. So there's a lot of work involved when it comes to pricing stuff, and having all the resources and stuff. So anyhow,
yeah, the other profit chunks of that is they also showed me some ways to save it because they were a smaller local company. Same way with Sherwood Lane. I don't think they're by feet. I think they by far cheaper than the Sherwood Lane. Any other place off, but she also matched colors. She was actually, who knew that they make a stain that's called old varnish, make something look 50 years old. They put that color underneath, just like an old varnish, so you would know you got it. So,
you know, you can save a lot of money by buying quantity, right? But that means you got a storage problem. Right. And you got a shelf life problem, like the paint. You can buy a whole gallon for the price of a quart and a half. But then what do you do with the rest? So, you know, it does present some challenges as far as material costs, profit challenges, you know, you don't give yourself, this is multifaceted, right? You got to comp it, right? You got to have a good art. You got to know what the current value is. You got to buy it right, but then you got to have accurate rehab costs, and you got to have a fudge factor in there for the unforeseen. How many people have done a rehab and didn't have any surprises? Not me. My big house that I did Weatherford, I guess it's about a year ago now. Finished it about a year ago. I was almost $30,000 over what I budgeted. Fortunately, I bought it right, and it's the best trade I've ever had. But I bought it right. That's the key. So, okay, just a quick summary here. Devin was going to be here to give us a quick little overview of the market from January of 23 to November of 23. December numbers aren't out yet. And I just wanted to point in a couple of things that she said, which is not here. Thank you. Not coming. But median price homes in January of 22 to January of 23 is up 4.2%. Closed sales down 26.5% in January of 23. Now, I'm not a realtor, so don't ask me to give any detailed explanation of all this. Days on market, January 22 to January 23, 59 days on market with 36 days to close. Now, what was it back in the peak of the market a year and a half ago? What was the days on market? Yeah, so this is a big improvement, right? But if you're on the flipping side, then you like the $8. But you know, for us trying to buy houses and looking for motivated sellers, that's good. Where do we want that number to be? Hundreds of days? It's not going to happen here, I don't think. In DFW.
It's possible. It's still, the market is still all about location price, and location still comes first.
So keep that in mind when you're looking at houses. You're going to flip. That's a key factor. Months inventory. At one point we had, what was it, like 7 days or 14 days, and it's really low of inventory. But you see that's going up. How many of you received email listings from realtors every day for active listings and expired listings. What I've been seeing is days on market going up and up. Seeing a lot of price reductions, and I'm seeing a lot of back on market.
We have seen not only that, but where they go off market, they expire this, then they wait 2 or 3 months to go right back off the market and a lower rate.
Yeah, this pricing.
Well, you said.
People today still think our sellers are still saying, well, I live in Farmville, so my house is, you have people that are not getting out of, it is going to a buyer's market. We're actually going back to normal.
Yeah.
I mean, the normal before COVID was 30 to 60 days. We were at 6 and 7% interest. And what you're seeing now, though, is all the people that bought houses with the 2 and 3 interest rates back in 4 or 5 years ago, however long ago, well, they no longer qualify for the same house that they bought at that interest rate. So they're having a problem adjusting to, well, wait a minute, I qualify for a $400,000 house at 2.5% interest. I need to sell because I have a job promotion, but now I'm looking at, 7 and 8% interest. That's where our market at the moment to change. That's what we're doing.
And those people could be your potential
Yes.
sellers.
Very much so.
Okay, so in November, so from January to November, median price up only 0.3%. So wasn't a big change. Closed sales is down. Active listings is up. Days on market though, 46. So that changed. What do you think is going to happen when you start now? We just had 7 interest rate reductions, right? You think these days on market and the number of new listings is going to go up? It's going to go up. People are going to get excited, whether that's a false security or idea or not. I don't know. Any idea what from the mortgage industry?
It goes down, or it doesn't increase. The lenders are already hearing all that's been happening, that's adjusting, but they don't commit. But one thing I need to share with you is with the second is that buyers are the ones in the big ones because investors giving us our pricing know that they're going to get paid off in 6 months or a year when they refinance. So they're not going to have that 5 to 7 years to make a little bit of money off that deal and make it worth their time. They're only going to have 6 months or a year. So they want their profit up front. So the points, you almost can't get a rate. I mean, last month you couldn't have gotten a rate with 0 points. Every investor is wanting, see, I have taken over there. Every investor is wanting their profit up front, but they're not going to get any of their
That profit.
and it's killing the market because the closing costs are always going.
So the other fact that you're talking about the sellers today that you can't afford to move up, also the other potential subject to seller that I think you may see is all these people that paid 50 to 100 grand over asking price. Because as we move further and further away from that date of purchase, this is just me thinking, what happens? Life, right? Life events, death in the family, health issues, job transfer. Something's going to happen to make them have to move. And do you think they're going to be able to sell that house on today's market with higher interest rates when they paid way over what it was worth to start with? So there could be some opportunities there for you. You know how to structure those deals, make the offers. And that's what I think is going to be a big part of what's coming up this next year.
I think they're going to process these websites.
as a result of the old thing.
Yeah, sure did, I was gonna.
Okay, moving on. And this is just another view. Median price, closed sales, active listings, months inventory. If you, 46 days on market, if you're not already receiving listings from an agent, I recommend you do that, and be monitoring it. I did 2 or 3 different ones for Fort Worth and Worth County, and I just see things going up and down. I see the increase in the days on market, and I see a lot of stuff coming back on the market after it's been put on the ground. Okay. Reflecting on your 2023 goals and results, is that important? What'd you do good? What was not so good, right? You certainly don't want to repeat your mistakes. But it's very important to take the time to sit down and go through that and see what you think the end result is. Did you do the right thing? Where do you need to change? You may need to add something instead of changing something. You want to celebrate those victories and pat yourself on the back for all the good stuff, right? I mean, 23 years in the business, last year was pretty good, overall, as far as income goes, and some of the deals got the biggest checks I've ever gotten. And hopefully some of you did the same thing. But there's also some challenges going on with that too. But you should celebrate it. Be happy about those good things. Maybe last year you completed your first deal. You did the first deal last year. Okay? Congratulations. I mean, that's a big first step in this business. Did that give you another whole level of confidence that you can do this job, but do this business? It does that. It really gets you excited. Maybe you completed a real estate investment course. Anybody do that? Good. Is education important in this business? Absolutely. Hard to do this without it, or you're going to have some rough road ahead to learn it the wrong way. Success can come in small or large chunks. But it's also there, it's an indicator of all your hard work and what your hard work and dedication did, right? If you see those results, you worked hard throughout the year and you had good results, that's good. It's a reinforcement of all that hard work, those long hours and stuff. Learning from the challenges along the way. Is this important? I mean, you gotta sit down and think about this and figure out what the heck went wrong. What went wrong and why? Was it your fault? Was it somebody else's? Some people would blame the market as to why they may not have made so much. But how do you overcome that? Got a plan for worst case, right? Plan for worst case. Have an extra budget for the unforeseen stuff. Use different contractors that may save you money. Have an exit strategy that you're ready to implement. Don't buy your first house with no training and no power team created, because then you're starting at ground zero, right? So what is, from the day you close on that, with no planning, no effort, no action being taken on that, what's happening to your budget? You're eating up the money. Your holding cost is adding up every day that you sit on that property, whether you're working on it or not working on it. So have a plan first. Get your team, get your funding, know what your contractors you're going to use. Have all that action plan in place before you ever go close on a deal. Now, what if you start today? What if you come across a deal today, and I'm sure this has happened. Yesterday, I just woke up and I said, I'm going to become a real estate investor. And tomorrow I come across the house that I just got to buy because it's a sweet deal. Should you turn down the deal because we don't have that power team in the plan? Partner with somebody. But don't turn out a deal. If you're that new, you gotta confirm it is a deal. So that's where joint venturing with somebody would be a smart move. Understanding why something didn't work can help you make a better decision and improve the results for next year, right? You have to understand what happened. When you chose the wrong contractor, or you put you didn't analyze it properly, use the wrong comps, whatever it is, you want to make sure you understand it so you know the keys. What do you need to do differently in 2024? And that's really what we're going to talk about today is how do I improve my bottom line? Is that what we're here for? Everybody want to improve your bottom line? If you don't, when you do improve it, just give me the difference. Thank you for that. Just a simple check. So for many people, it may be challenging to view, or maybe tempting to view the challenges as a negative or a setback. But recommending that it's an opportunity. You know, take a positive approach to it and figure out a way to improve it, make it better, and not repeat what happened last year. Don't we go through challenges in life every day? Every single day, right? So you can't go through life with a negative attitude. Don't we have those people all around us? See them every day. Okay. Establish your goals in a direction for the new year. That's what we want to do. Hopefully, at the end of the day here, you're going to have some idea of what you need to do. Using your successes and challenges from last year, create the goals for your new year. And this should be every year we should be going through this thought process. Whether it's fine-tuning your current business model or doing a complete makeover, growing your network, diving into another whole new aspect of the real estate investing business, setting clear, detailed, and realistic goals. How important is realistic? Does it do any good to come in here and say, I'm going to buy 300 houses this year? Now, the paydays look great on that number, but is that realistic? If you set unrealistic goals, what's that do for you? Huh? That's right. It sets you up for failure and disappointment. Now, do you need to be aggressive in the goals if you're hungry? Is it okay to be aggressive in the goal? But that's different than being unrealistic.
Tim, you know what this makes me think of? Lexington. She's the first one to say, oh, I'm teaching this class because I'm in the state. So I had to learn it.
Yep.
She would just jump in there and do it. She might make a mistake, but if she does, she shares it and tells us how to not get into that situation.
And that's, you know, the great thing about what we family said, let's just take an action. Instead of doing it the other way around and saying, I don't know, I got to go research this, I got to become the expert before I pull the trigger. You never pull the trigger. I know plenty of people in my 23 years, 4 years next month, that have been through all the same training, spent all the big bucks I spent in my education early on, that have never done theater. Engage, learn, and grow. That's what this group is for. To help you engage, learn, and grow. You heard this before? Must be in the game to win the game. Does that make sense? You must be in the game to win it. If you're not in it, you are not going to win it. This is an ever-changing business, ever-changing market. The laws change. Pre-February, we're doing our case law update, Mr. Mark Garcia. I hope that you will all register before you leave here today. Well, you can, it's not on the calendar, but it will be. We'll get it on there here in the next day or two. But that is one of the better attended events that we do every year. Mark is going to give you all the recent state updates and stuff on real estate law that's affecting our business. You owe it to yourself to be here for that event. Okay, we have market changes, new strategies require you to plug into different classes if you're interested in that strategy. Local networking events such as this one, and being able to adapt to the change and maximize your profit while minimizing the risk. How important is minimizing risk? Is risk good? Some risk is good. Are we presented with risk every day? Is there a risk in getting out of bed? Did you take risk coming here? How did you mitigate the risk coming here? Wear your seatbelt. You drive the speed limit, maybe. And hopefully stop for stop signs. And watch out for the other crazies that ignore all that. There's plenty of them on the road, right? But we deal with risk every day. But we just learn how to mitigate the risk. It's the same thing in this business. You have to learn how to deal with the risk. Don't we have a lot of risk in a contract? Oh, yeah. Don't we have a lot of risk in making an all-cash offer? Is there risk in you taking your cash and buying the house versus pulling cash from a hard money lender or private lender? There's risk in all that, right? Just because it's your cash, does that avoid the risk? Still risk. A lot of risk. So, you got to learn how to minimize the risk and how to mitigate the risk. And that needs to be in part of your life. And of course, a lot of that comes from the education and being able to adapt. Come to events like this, you hear and you see all the things that are changing throughout the year. Very important. And for people that don't come to these events, they don't have that. How many times have we heard about all these people still doing contract for deeds and lease option deals, selling houses with lease options? Lease options is not illegal, is it? Anybody think lease options illegal? But it's really hard, isn't it?
If you do them right, but it's just a specialized training.
But it's really hard, and most people don't really do that. Most people think they know it. They get on the internet and read some post from somebody not in Texas. Key point, be careful what you're reading on the web. And if you're reading something from somebody that's not in Texas, you definitely should shy away from that to start with. But even the guys that are from Texas, they're not all up to speed on the front wall. So it's just be aware. Can't stress enough the importance of mastering the due diligence process to help minimize your risk and, of course, make more money, right? So you need to be using the right tools. MLS data is absolutely necessary to determine comps. Whether it's Propelio, which I recommend and use, or whether you have access to MLS directly, there's a lot of tools out there that claim to have real sold data, but you better investigate closely because a lot of it's not. Anybody else using a tool that is MLS data? Propelio. It's on your little flyer there. And there's a special offer you get with that, but
That dealing shoe has a MLS together.
so I've heard that. I don't know if anybody's using it as to market it.
But I'm not so sure. I've got access to probably.
I would recommend if anybody's considering these other tools that, claim to have, see no full comps from all these sources and compare them once.
There's another, it's called previous pretty much. So for investors that do not have access to the MLS,
How do you spell that?
REI. They are definitely all over in Texas, but like, I have someone call me about something in Florida, so I have a friend, an agent in Florida that I'll do it for one of the comps. And it's pretty accurate, so if you're an investor, you don't have a real estate agent, you can, I would suggest, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's cheaper now, but.
They have to place it. It used to be $90.
No matter what it is, the tool, go compare it. Do yourself a favor and confirm it and convince yourself that it's real data. I'm serious. Like I said, I know somebody that filed bankruptcy because they used some wrong sources. I certainly don't want.
If anyone here is interested in using them, or want to let me know, and I can talk to Juan to see if, when they cost them.
I'm happy to try it. The other one I've heard said to have prompts is prop screen. Anybody use prop screen? So I don't know. It used to be it wasn't, but somebody's told me it is now. But
We've had in one of our other investor groups, one of the right brain over thinkers, did a comparison.
I would rely, I would rely on free before I would bring it.
I did use innovation.
But I'm just,
No, but trust to verify. Okay? We do a lot of training on comps analysis and stuff. So, the members in here, you can go click on this link and go log into your members area. And you go to the past meeting video files and go all the way back to 2019 now. You'll have, if you go more than 6 months back, you'll have to request that. There's a button there to request it. You'll give you access for 24 hours. And then we download that audio and video. Okay. So we save this stuff for your benefit. So you go back and review it later. Real estate investing is a team sport, isn't it? Can you do it by yourself? Not really. I mean, you still have to have a title company. Could do all the work yourself if you're that talented, but is that going to take you a long time? I saw my dad do it. That's what got me, give me the bug, but he did everything himself. But it took him 3 or 4 years to remodel a house because when he was done, it looked like brand new. I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to learn to accelerate my business. So it is a team sport to me. The networking is absolutely important. Meeting the right people in this room is absolutely important to your success. You're not alone. Don't feel like you're alone. If you don't feel like you have someplace to go, that's all the more reason to get plugged in. You're a part of the best REI group in North Texas. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. So, the collective experiences of our members, the shared insights and help. I learned something today about privy. Never heard of that. So I'm gonna go check it out. But getting involved and plugged in really helps those experiences. The power of the relationships is important. It not only can help you, but open up other doors of opportunity. You might be just working on wholesale deals, but you might need somebody else here that, is interested in partnering with people to building just subject to an owner finance round type deal, So it could open up another whole door of opportunity. Maybe you're a contractor and you want to start rehabbing too, maybe go start another local business to support real estate prices. I thought about doing that, but then it reminded me I still got to deal with contractors, so I wasn't going to gain anything. Moral support, tips, possible funding, contractors, joint venture partners are just some of the many benefits to attending a group like this or other local REIs. If you find one that you're comfortable with, it's got all the right people and teaching the right things. Reflecting on the last year is a critical and strategic step moving forward to becoming a successful real estate investor. Learn from it, change, modify, stop doing what isn't working. What good does that do, right? Keep doing it over and over again and expecting a different result. What's that definition? Insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So, recognizing and minimizing risk. We talked about this earlier. I've seen a couple of you taking pictures, all the slides and video up on the website too. Go watch the presentation. Minimizing risk, having the ability to adapt to the market changes. Can't minimize the risk by structures and real estate. Just a far extreme example, paying too much for a house, right? Can you go buy a house every day? If you want, if you had the funding, you buy a house every day? You just have to pay too much, right? But is that high risk? Yeah, absolutely. So you got to learn how to structure the deals differently, using option periods, multiple offers, detailed comps, more detailed comps, better rehab analysis, making sure your numbers are really what the numbers are going to be. Some of that is going to come from the experience. Some of it can come from your very detailed work at Home Depot, Lowe's, lumber yards, but that's a lot of time, right? Some of it can come from very experienced rehabbers, but they have the same boss, trying to adjust and adapt to all the changes. Multiple exit strategies, is that going to help minimize risk? It will. So risk mitigation, just like when you got up and drove here today, you minimize the risk of being run over by seatbelts, driving speed, even early enough to get your on time so you didn't have to speed, all that stuff. Hopefully nobody tripped coming out of the bed, so you didn't have shoes where you got hurt in one day. So it's all risk that we mitigate by doing certain things. And this business is the same. Having the right marketing, having the right title company, closing deals for you, getting the right insurance companies. What's the most important ingredient to success? Anybody? Never give up. Mindset, persistence, taking action. Are you ever going to get any success if you don't do something? That's why the first deal is so important. You got to take action. I know you're a little scared, a little afraid, a little antsy about it. But get the education. Learn how to minimize the risk. Go right into the contract. And what's the way when you go write that first contract? What's the most important piece of that first contract that will eliminate or almost eliminate your risk, whether you buy it or not? Let's say you go put accidentally put 200,000 on when it should have been 100,000.
get a long option period.
Anybody disagree with the option period? What happens with that option period? If you have a 30-day option period or a 14-day option period, and you offer double what the house was worth, what does that mean to you?
Back out from the negotiation.
Terminate your option, right? Right? So, remember that feature, if you're using the Texas contract, you can cancel. You get up in the morning, you got a headache. Your stomach hurts. The dog's barking, whatever it is, and you want to cancel the contract within the option period, you can do it. Now, from the time you wrote that contract, from the time you got the lead to the time you terminated it, you terminated. Did you learn a lot? You should have. You should have been doing your due diligence. You should have been analyzing the comps closer. You should have been analyzing the repairs closer. And you met with the seller, so you had some experience, conversation with the seller. You looked at the house, you've taken pictures, you've finished the rest of your analysis, you've written a contract. You know you wrote it wrong, right? But did you learn a lot during that process? So from this day forward, don't use fear to prevent you from going around a contract. Isn't that the most important step, is getting that contract in place so you can start finishing the analysis, moving forward towards closure? Got to confirm numbers, right?
That's the biggest thing we can do is share. Furnishing, right, an earnest. Take the legally in Texas, it's $1 or something like that, it's not very much. No, I think it sounds like what is the least amount of furniture?
I do 10. I don't do it all.
But 10 is as cheap as you, is what most do. That's most are going to lose. Why not $100?
I'm simplifying the scenario here, but you shouldn't use being afraid, because you can go do this. And if you're so afraid you don't have the right numbers, and you haven't gone to ask anybody for help, joint venture, consulting, mentoring, whatever, you're never going to go pull the trigger. Again, I'm really simplifying this, but I'm trying to make the point. It isn't as hard as what a lot of newbies think it is.
There's, there's not, the seller's going to be on the three, have an option to even though the option. Investors are explaining something, point out, they go either in the back out. They really say, to those sellers who know that want to go with the offer, everyone's trying it, because you had an option to do it.
So for me personally, I do contracts without option periods on certain houses that I really want that house. I think I'm getting a good price, but I really want it, because my perception is if that seller is looking at my offer compared to your offer with an option period, you have time to back out. They know I'm going forward. Well, that's the way I look at it. I use that as one of my strategies to get offers accepted. That worked for me last fall. I bought 2 houses off MLS. It's the first time I've ever done it in 24 years. Now, did that have anything to do with it? I don't know. But they took my offer. So, from the seller's perspective, what do they, if they're really in a big hurry to sell and giving them a 2-week option period, they may feel it's going to delay their closing. and get them cash in hand, maybe. But if they want to close fast, and you are ready to close, you know you want it, you're not backing out, go with no option. But that no option period is not something for a first timer in here. You know, you gotta know what you're doing, in my opinion, to do that. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that? I mean, you need to know you're not changing your mind. Because you're losing your money back up. And you risk being sued. So, you know, I only use that when I know for a fact, I've looked at the house, I know what I'm getting into. And I know that even though my price might be a little bit low, I'm using it as leverage to the seller so that they know that I'm serious. And what's the other thing that I do along with that? What do you do? You give an increased earnest money. If I know I'm competing, I'm going to do no option. I'm going to give them a bigger than normal earnest money. And if I'm ready to close, I may say 7 days, 5 days. Does that make sense? Anybody got any questions on that? Anybody do it a different way? And you got any?
Well, we do sell the option. And so I'm a real estate broker as well, so I can compete against the two. When you have a seller that the property's been on the market and they have 2 contracts to back out because they get financing. And then you come with, you know, your team and I come along and go out, no option, we want to buy it. That's probably what you're looking at, that's happened in the past. So that sellers, I mean, they're already coming down on the price.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, there's
Your answers about real estate agents don't give that option. There's a lot of the who's don't have those agents. I don't know, but I don't do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this isn't a 5-minute discussion. I mean, there's more to this than just a little bit of conversation we've had here. And we need to have a workshop in the future.
You know, talking about real estate agents. It can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. So like, we have a new agent. Because of the agent's new or whatever, I'm sitting there, I'm actually educating that agent why we're doing what we're doing. Do I need to go to your seller and explain why we're doing this? Some of them are like, wow, they're so desperate because they need money.
Yeah.
They're like, sure, come in. Then you take the old agents that have education that's been in business long I have had that refuse to change.
Sure.
Okay, so what do? We just go back behind the backs and go listing expires and go direct to the seller, you know. But you have to know where your knowledge is in your experience, and you need to use it. And I tell new people all the time, you're more knowledgeable than you think you are.
Yes, sir.
There's a 0-day option periods. We also have home inspection agencies.
Whenever I make offers, I'm never doing a home inspection. I've already been through the house. I know what I'm looking at. It's something option.
That's a retail sale, retail buyer, retail seller.
So I just go about the previous days of home inspection, go on the properties and
I never do.
I've asked.
No, you're in question. You gotta be, we look at water, you can tell you if it's anything. It's why the IRS with 3 rules and told me.
I was sitting on the day that we're submitting, or the day that our offer is accepted, I have sent out the engineer, the roofer, whatever that we're doing on the day that we are actually signing that contract.
Depends on what the deal is on the house, but, okay. I'm going to do this, but I'm gonna have to take a 3-minute break. Like Warren talking, so I'll just come back to this one. Mingle Bob, go to record.
See, you guys got a wholesale deal,
Yeah,
you contract,
yeah.
what you got?
And it's on the website. I got it like right before Christmas. And so that was when I think that always was.
Still sitting on?
It's been a weird close and Martin is the sponsor here. He's come up with, he'll never do anything legal first, but it's creative. So it's not for getting it closed, but no. So it was a burnout. It wasn't. And then he went with the fruit because, it was kind of charred along the front entrance there. It wasn't bad. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. They don't know anything. Yeah. Myra got crossing. I could, my quotes were so high, and so I decided to wholesale it, and this guy is actually, he's gonna tear it down. He's gonna scrape it and, build back in and see what's up.
Do you believe they got a permit? Start pulling permits. Start pulling everything.
Oh, yeah.
Career, one stop rides, electrical stop rides, those kind of stuff. There's a lot of.
Yeah. And I said, the inspectors, he said he already knew about this one, because they had already taken the meter off, they took the gas meter off too. And she already did it for our neighbor's plumbing issue out there. But, so I met with her, like, what all you would wish for? And she was more than happy to come out there and just look at it. It was all close, time well spent. It was $45 to do a call, but I learned a lot while she was there. This is my second go. I just finished my first split. My first split. I learned a lot of that. I pretty much break even, so I'm fine. I'm not losing money.
Yeah.
But I learned mostly more proactive to be out there, like, hey, this is what we done.
I've all got it. So, yeah, I'm gonna do this. One way to break even. We did pretty so big.
Yeah.
Most of that's been taken. The way I look at it.
Yeah.
I thought.
Mine that really chunked away is I wasn't out there being aggressive on people that I get done. And so I ended up getting done later with that pushing you guys where I should have been on marketing course before school started. It wasn't. And after that, all these years, and that was that. We should just look at
Demo and put high beams in your house, you gotta tear it all down, you gotta. And the beam support the middle, it's good, that's just some other. Tearing everything else, that flat fine, they look the patio. Increase the price like 40 grand.
I voted a big seat for low, for ladies. I'm late.
All right, folks, here we go. Sorry, I don't normally have to take a break, but old man issues, you know. Okay, ideas to consider implementing into 2024. Are we ready? How about technology tools? You think that might be important in today's world? You know, there's certainly a lot of stuff manually, but you know, there's a lot of technology out there now that can help us. So in your plan, you might want to have that, take that into consideration. There's mobile apps, there's AI tools. How many people are not using AI in some way? Well, that's a different story. But I would encourage you to be using it, to be testing it and see what you think of it. You know, confirm everything that it spits out at you. But there is a lot, I mean, so much is coming out with AI integrated, but you should at least see how it can help. How does that apply to your roof? Your shingles? Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna help everybody, but Callie, it's incorporated into so much, and there's so many tools, ChatGPT. How many have downloaded the new Microsoft AI app? Scary. I haven't looked at it yet. I've got it. It's called Copilot. And just came out just 3 days ago. So I'm gonna play with it. ChatGPT, if you haven't started playing with that, it's really fun. Trust for verify though.
I think it's right. Just experiment with it. And it did a really good job. So not advertising, like you know, I can get an LS, you have to do a proper description.
Yep.
I type in there, whatever. Have it to, it does a better description than what I do.
We're playing with it on writing titles, writing paragraphs, writing blog posts or sections of blogs. Just experiment with it, but you do have to pay attention. I had it write a class on subject 2. And it was pretty good, but there was some stuff that I would be delete that I didn't use it. So just go play with it. No, I'm not saying a chat GPT. It was a subject 2 class. Oh, on the phone, Copilot. Just go to your app store and type in Copilot. Very powerful. So there's deal finding tools. I mean, there's a million of them. You know, you have to find one that suits your needs, you're comfortable with. Some are more complex than others. The premium websites for the group, you get a free website with the group, but then there's a premium upgrade that has a deal analyzer, a repair estimator, a letter of intent, an offer letter generator, and a rental analyzer. That's all included in that, and it does some amazing things. RealFlow's got their own deal analyzers. You know, Deal Machine is another one. Propelio, well, they don't have an analyzer in person. But deal finding tools, you know, Deal Machine, Propelio, the new one with RealFlow called Lead Flow AI. RealFlow Lead Pipes AI. They're now storing leads. Jury's still out on whether or not it is accurate, but what they're doing is they're taking hundreds of different public data fields and collecting all that stuff about one address and scoring the house as to the propensity that it will sell within the next 90 days. And they're scoring it from 1 to 1,000. So the intent is the closer to 1,000 you get, the more likely it's gonna sell in the negative. Still not convinced that it works, but it could be leading us to something that may work. But, we're working on direct mail campaigns because start testing it and see if it really does work. Their app is pretty cool, the Lead Pipes AI. You have a link. I think it's on your little QR code sheet that's in here. You have a link for a 30-day free trial. Don't cost you anything, go try it. Lead Flow AI. Gives you all kinds of data. Again, verify the data. Do your own due diligence to make sure what is anybody using Lead Flow AI? Go try it. There's a link there for 30-day trial. No credit card. MLS comps tool, like we're talking about earlier, Privy, Valio, MLS, Real Machine, if that's true comps, but you want to make sure you have these tools in your plan for 24. CRM tools. I have to use Flow and been on it for 14 years, but there's others. But it's a system, it's a way to systemize your business. In my opinion, systemizing the business helps streamline your time if you're really on time. You know, my business goes everywhere with me. On phone or laptop, wherever it is, wherever I'm at. You know, I have my business. You can't do that with paper. So. Marketing tools. What's marketing tools?
Flyers, postcards, direct mail, there's digital, there's physical, there's social media, right down to 35 here. There's a sign,
Kathy buys houses.
there we go.
Yep.
She's been there for years.
Vehicles.
Vehicles.
Vehicles,
A lot of people see
are
them.
for party for at this 8 hours for the same works.
But we're going to talk more of it. Is marketing important? Do we have a business without marketing?
I tried to buy a lease for where I live in do that, and because I'm chair of the county veterans, I know how many veterans we have down there. And when I try to put it in to buy a list, we didn't get access to it. When I try to put it in buy a list, it gives you more, it gives you exponentially more revenue, possible list that I can buy. I know the list. But I try to do and place it in both lists, either give me more population than the county wants, or it gives me more leverage when I do it down. And I said, okay, so neither one of these are accurate, so no one $300 to $400 for these lists. So I'm just curious if anybody thinking that has a really difficult that they can go by, you know, this is a big home, paid for homes, or veteran owned homes, or, you know, homes owned by certain types of homeowners. So this address, this is written.
I have a website.
Produce so that we can do with them, we can find buyers and see.
Somebody out of this, if they ever said to put me on as a single bed our house with three tests. I think we can get all kinds of things, veterans, want to sell your house, like somebody's getting this.
There's another company called that too.
You might look at Melissa data. They are,
It's very simple.
they are very good.
What is it?
It's what it's. But on this, there was this for each other.
I is involved. This is.
Because I'm making sure that they're I want to job, but I want to real estate too, but two separate use cases, but I was like that, and because the next case wasn't, I know this. So that's so it's a whole thing.
There is a company that I used to use, for my list for the citizens on listed ability. And they have a very detailed website, but out of this now, they can be small. Listability, they've been around for a long time as well. I think it's been a good one. I'm sure. Yeah, you do, for the new folks, just so you know, there's no such thing as 100% activist. I mean, people move, people die every day, right? So just don't get upset when you get a list and find out that so many of them are going to get returned and stuff. The list are not 100%. There's a list better than others, but you know they're not 100%.
Even the county data.
Yeah.
So that's where they're all generated. So even one that's even better is the post office, because that's hard to. That's another thing that's fun.
Okay, now what? So we talked a lot about looking at last year, a lot of things, considering stuff, but now what? Do it. That's, I should have put that as the first. But you're right. Do it. Right? So how do we do it? That's probably the answer or the question everybody's asking. How do we do it? So notice the print and fill out. So I did this to try and help you as a way to, instead of printing a bunch of paper and hand it out, this will be uploaded in the next day or two for you to just go download this and print it. But I made a checklist for you. So, you know, you can modify this if you want to, you know, add to it and stuff as we're going through it. Hopefully you're going to find this helpful. Because why am I doing this? When you leave here, I want you to know what to go do to try and build your own blueprint, right? So I want you to go home with something. You don't have it in your hands, but have it online today or tomorrow. So you can go review and you put together your own blueprint. So let's see if this helps. By the way, it's required that you tell me if this helps. Why am I not clicking? Okay, wholesale. So my investment strategy, notice here, single family, multifamily, and commercial. So I want you to circle one of those. What is going to be your investment strategy? Single family, multifamily, commercial. Are you interested in wholesale? You interested in flipping? Buy and hold? The burn method? Pick one and master it. Okay? Don't try and do them all. Notice you don't see owner financing in there. You don't see subject to in there, and none of that's there. Go pick one and master it before you move on to something else. Not saying you can't do all the things, but I'm a victim of trying to do everything all at once. I go to a high-speed sales pitch, I buy into a course and go back to the next class and got another high-speed sales pitch that, you know, you can call me a sucker if you want, but I bought just about everything. And 24 years later, do you think I regret any of it? No. But for you, I'm trying to show you that at least get you to think about, focus on what you're studying. You're going to get to an income producing level a lot faster if you focus on one thing, master it, and then add another tool to your toolbox after that.
Yeah, I think it was shiny box.
Shiny ball syndrome, that's what Sarah calls it. too. But, you know, when I got started 24 years ago, I went to a well-known guru's wholesale class. And that's what gave me the burning desire to get started. And I started buying course after course. But I was working full-time plus. And I was learning this business. I spent all of my vacation time traveling the country to different boot camps. Because I was serious about this business. I knew I was going to do this. I started in 2000. I resigned in 2006. And still here today. There's a lot of things that I bought that I don't use. You can spend that money on other things. It's more beneficial for you. So think about that. Pick one where you're most interested, most comfortable, most knowledgeable today. You may not be knowledgeable in anything, but see what you're interested in and try to stick with that. Farm area. Identify your farm area. Why is this important? By the way, I didn't say this, but I think I did. Before we leave, whoever's still here is going to get all the free giveaway stuff that I have. So I intend to get it all away and not take any of it home. So that influences your decision on when you leave. Anyhow, farm area. Why is farm area important? What is farm area? Future.
The area that you want to target.
Where do you want to buy it? Where are you going to market to? Where you're going to learn to master the comps at, and so forth, right? Buying and selling activity, that's your farm area. So you want to do it nationwide? I don't recommend that. You want to do it statewide? Don't really recommend that. Some people do. If you have systems, you have a team that can, you know, manage that, that's fine. If I'm just getting too old, I don't want to do that. County is much more manageable, right? But where's the best one? City, or even better yet, zip code. This is baby steps, right? Take baby steps. Why is it important to start with baby steps? Maybe you don't have a lot of budget. Maybe your budget's limited, so you can only do so many mailings. You can only drive so long each day. Maybe that zip code in the city area is easy to drive through. You know, on your way to work, on your way to church, Walmart, to and from, go a different route every day. But that's what this farm area is all about. So pick one and stick to it until you master it, and then you can expand. But I recommend either the zip code or the city. You can expand it in the county. People in the statewide can have a team built. I just think it gets too hard and you start throwing money there and you do that big.
What is the difference if we buy a product?
For me, it's my opinion, you gotta have a power team. You gotta find people you can trust, you gotta have realtors, title companies, contractors, who's gonna put a lockbox on it, but you gotta hire a realtor to do all that. I like to see.
In our case, we walk it and give it to the partner.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do, but I'm saying for the average community in this business, start small, if you have an opportunity to go buy something like that and you work it out, I'm not saying don't, I'm not saying cancel that. You know, you can go make money on it, but for a lot of people, they don't want to do that.
And to add to that, so I did doers that talk about going state nationwide. When you actually got to know them, the reason they do it is because they have family members in those areas, the people that they can trust, or they've done one-on-one coaching with them.
Yeah.
That have paid big bucks to run this. But as far as do they just go out and they can. I'm one.
Yep.
So.
And just from my own experience, when I first got started, I didn't have a real group to go to. I didn't meet a real group until I was a year to 2 years into it. And I didn't have anybody tell me this. So I launched my website, started marketing it nationwide. I started getting leads and crap nationwide. What did that do? I ate up my money and ate up my time and took me and slowed me down from becoming a master in my backyard.
Something to keep in mind with the farm area is that laws and ordinances vary from location to location. Like one of the strategies with short-term rentals, a lot of cities now prohibit or greatly restrict those. But some people do mid-term and long-term, but maybe it's looking at some laws. I swear
Important fact like that. Got to be aware of what's going on, what the requirements are.
Another pitfall of the states, like I do military store where I live, just try to find property, rent it out. And that's not about the great because they want the property, but as time is done, properties that I have for 50 years, you know, some of those properties, those trades not stale, and I'm not there, we want to do this property, or new relationships, so I'm not getting retail prices. And so for me, from my perspective, I'm selling things off so I can focus on Texas. Because my husband is not and he stays. So
So in neighborhoods, another level of detail, right? It could be a big neighborhood. It could be a neighborhood that's got a high turnover. You know, if you really like to start small, then go to the neighborhood. Select areas that are easily manageable in the end. Okay? To and from work, what a great way to go drive a neighborhood. You know, if your work is north and your farm area is south, then it makes it a little hard to be in that neighborhood frequently, see what's going on. See the physical signs show up, see the houses deteriorating and stuff. So if you can pick that farm area where it's easy to go, you're on your way from work, church, school, Walmart, we all go to Walmart frequently, right? Okay, real estate education needed. You know, what's the cost of education? But without the education, what's the cost? It costs you an awful lot, right? And is it a cost? I should have put it up there. The investment is what I meant to say. Because that's what it is, right? You're investing in yourself for that education. But it can get really costly without educating yourself. People that like to just get on bigger pockets and read a blog or just buy a $5 book and go to the garage sale and get pay $1 for a book and expect to make big money and don't, and they wonder why the deal fell apart or they got a lawsuit against them or whatever. So the education to me is a very important thing. As I said, I've got well over 100,000 sitting on a cabinet of wall bookcases and stuff. And I don't regret it. Wish I wouldn't have to do some of the duplication stuff, you know, but it's important. I just think we should find tuning on the areas of interest, like wholesale. If you want to do wholesale, be smart, get a course, flipping. Want to be flipping? Buy a class, attend a class. Don't take these classes from somebody in California. Okay, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. Marketing for sellers. You know, again, there's that marketing word, right? You've got to know how to market. If you can't market, you have no business. So, you know, I a lot of times call myself a marketer and not an investor because we have to learn the market. We don't have a business. Our business is the leads we generate. Negotiations for buying and selling. Got to know how to do that right. So you got to get that education. Contracts, closing the deal, systems and organization, deal analysis, rehab analysis. These are all things that you have to learn about. So you can number these and prioritize them. based on what you want to do in the business. Maybe you prioritize based on the money you have. This is why I want you to print this out and write that. Mark it all up. You establish your priority. Again, notice I have the word baseline. This isn't talking about any advanced strategy, advanced education that you may want to get into. Once you get the basics down, you might want to get into some more advanced strategies on deal structure, owner financing, things like that. How to find funding for deals. How important is that? Now, can we buy houses with no money?
Yes.
Who's bought a house with no money? Okay. You can do it. Are there a lot of them? They're a little harder to find, especially nowadays. But they're out there. But when you can't buy it with no money, you have to have some money. Doesn't mean your money though. So you want to learn how to buy other people's money. OPM. Hopefully nobody's heard that. But that could be hard money, private money, could be cash, could be IRAs, could be an investment loan, which requires qualifying. So, there's a lot of different types of investing. You have to learn what all that stuff is. There could be other courses that I didn't mention here. There's a ton of stuff in this business, but that's just some of the basics. It's not about you can add to those on your blueprint. Marketing mastery. How important is it? We already talked about it, but this is really important. I should have moved this up to the top of the list because it really has to be one of the top priorities. If you can't generate leads, and leads can be what? Some of the easiest ones is what? Driving neighborhoods, right? That can be some of the easiest things. But you gotta know what to look for when you drive neighborhoods. You gotta know what neighborhoods to drive. But that's really one of the easiest what isn't generating leads. But websites, postcards, sticky notes, networking, social media. I mean, people are not on social. But I was just there. My assistant. I think I'm just asking. But, I'm not a guru. You don't have to be a guru. It may be something Clarkson may do. But the social media aspect today is a biggie. So many people do it. Direct mail, social media, SMS. Somebody's doing SMS marketing, text messaging. Is it working?
It works. It's kind of really good.
The requirements for text messaging get more strict. The penalties. So you do have to make sure you know that. Email autoresponders. You have websites. You should have email autoresponders associated with them. You can do it without. You can have email autoresponders without a website, but there's a manual for that. So, but I think it's a very important part because it's marketing 24/7, just like a website is, right? Websites work 24/7. Blogs. Anybody blogging in here? Anybody?
Haven't published, but I am writing.
Okay. So, when you get a website set up, you should be blogging. That's one of the key things people love to see is activity in driving traffic to your site on blogs. Was there certain requirements to have that blog be effective and help Google find it and stuff? But there's a lot to it. But it's very important business. It's going to help sellers or buyers, whichever know what you do, what sort of services you offer them. We do a lot of blogging. So before I forget, in the theme of this event today with build your own blueprint, we just posted 2 blogs on the front page. Does anybody in here read that blog?
Yeah, I think there's a,
There's a blog page on our website that you should be reading. Unfortunately, there's no way for it to automatically notify you of the blog. So I need to start sending you an email for it, but we just posted 2 blogs that go right along with this theme of 2024 and how to help you get started. So go check it out. One was just Friday, and one was last week. But go read those. Those go right along with this. Cold calling. How many people do cold calling? You like it? Anybody used to cold call and they quit because he sucks? A lot of us, right? But a lot of people get results with it. $5 for dollars. You know, this is one of the most popular ones, right? Classified ads. Who's posting classified ads to market to sellers? What? So that's a free resource. So if money is tight, post ads, or you hire a VA to do it. Another system, but yeah, Craigslist, classifiedads.com. I mean, there's a ton. You go Google free classified ad sites, you will be amazed. Now, a lot of them will work. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So, what I recommend you do is when you find a site that you're considering, go look at the real estate section for Texas. What good is it to go post an ad if nobody goes there? Or if there's maybe not even a real estate section. So what if there's nothing, no activity in the real estate section of the Texas site, Texas category out in that website? Now, that could also be an opportunity, right? Nobody else is posted. So you might go test it and see. This is something I'm going to start doing again. I had my VA doing this for a long time. And we got distracted with websites and blogs, but we had pages and pages and pages of pre-made ads. Pre-foreclosures, probate, other house, downsizing, behind on payments, you know, all kinds of different topics. Made a whole bunch of them. She can just go to these classified ad sites about it. Now, how do you eat the elephant? He says that can be kind of a big elephant. There's a lot there. But you gotta tackle it one bite at a time. So start with what's easy for you, what you can do. If money's an issue, the things that you can do for free. If you have a VA or a partner or an assistant, split forces and, you know, tackle them independently, but, you know, just check them off one at a time. You don't have to do it all day, but they're all important. And, you know, the more avenues you can be in, the more space you can be in, the more likely somebody's going to find you. So that's why I think you should all. If you were so good at social media and had unlimited leads, and you don't want to do anything else. If you're very good at cold calling and you don't want to do anything else. I just think that you should do it all if you have the means to do it. Time available for the business. Are you available to work full time, part time? Yeah. Hours a day, hours a week. Fill in the blanks. kind of time you have. What you willing to commit? How fast do you want to get to your goals and dreams? How fast do you want to get that next deal or your first deal? Put those hours in there. Review this frequently. Don't just write it down and stuff it in your desk drawer. Everybody can see it. What is your risk tolerance? Is that important? So, what does that mean? Anybody?
How much are you willing to lose if it goes south?
Well, we could look at it. Why never? How much money we lose? No, it's not. But, how much do I want to make? Do I want to come close to the risk of losing? Are you trying to do a flip for $5,000 profit? That, to me, that's really too high of risk. I mean, because that can fall apart if you get negative really fast. Okay. Part of when I think about risk and doing deals, I'm thinking about my offer price versus the R minus all the repairs. Do I think I can get the house sold? Getting a free house isn't always a good deal. Anybody disagree with that? A free house isn't always a good deal. What could make that a bad deal? Money pit,
Vacancy.
taxes, hopefully you know that up front. I haven't read Martin, bad location. Maybe it's got multiple additions on it and all look like it should be torn down. The electrical plumbing's been butchered up. Why would you want to take that on just because somebody's willing to give it to you? That makes, to me, that's a risk. Now, how can you mitigate that risk on that same scenario?
It is practically nothing.
Well, that's one way. That's not the answer I was expecting everybody to say. Yes, you have to. We've talked about it quite a bit. Option. Right? To get an option, you can at least try and sell it, make some money. Right? Doesn't mean you have to close on it. So you could do an option. Now, is there a point where taking on an option and putting all your heart and soul into marketing to try and sell something when you're really good? What? Sell it. Is that making it higher risk? Is that really worth the time? If you have no deals at all, you can go do that, do the option. Whereas if you've got 10 deals in work, I'll bother, right? Or if you really want to try and help this desperate seller that has no other option, no other way of selling, no other chance of selling without your help, you can still go do the option now, right? Try to get sold.
Well, that feature is great testimony.
That would. And you should absolutely go get that testimonial, right? Whenever you have deals like that. Should be trying to do that on every deal. It's not always possible. But again, you can mitigate those risks. It's an option. But at some point, you've got to ask yourself, is it worth the time? Any questions on the risk part? Does it make sense? You got to ask yourself, what is your risk on? You want plain simple deals? Or are you willing to do you want 50 cents on the dollar? Or would you buy it 80 cents on the dollar? Different risk level there, right? You got to consider all the facts, though. Location, what's required, what can you get it for, sell it for, all those things come into play. In my mind, when I think about risk.
On the marketing side, there's one other really basic thing is the door knocking. And a lot of times, lining up with somebody, especially going to not so nice neighborhood, that makes it safer for everybody.
A lot of people do go on, anybody here doing it?
The fastest way to learn how to learn how to negotiate, how to get over the fear of talking to somebody is probably the fastest way. If I'm out for a day and she can attest to this, if I get 8 doors and I haven't talked to somebody, I'm still not getting ready for it. I'm waiting for somebody to come out and tell me because I enjoy the challenge. And I want to talk to somebody. I don't care if you're mad. Let's just talk. Whatever you feel.
Yep, not everybody will do that though.
No, so it's the easiest way to get over the negotiation part of it. Learn.
Okay. You've got to, identify yourself. How many deals you want? Kind of an important question, right? And, sometimes that's pretty hard to try and figure out. So you may have to back into it, identifying your yearly, quarterly, monthly requirements. But you're going to have to do the math, and again, do the realistic. Is one a month, one a quarter, based on your time, based on your money, based on your education level? Is that a realistic number for you? Or are you going for a 5 a month? That's pretty unrealistic for a lot. Unless you have massive teams out there working and spending a lot of money. Does that make sense? Anybody disagree with that? Funding sources. Hard money, private money, cash, IRA, investor loans. It's good to have all this, right? Not just one source. I've been using one private lender for years. All of a sudden, they went and did something with money and cut me off for a good thing. That was a shocker for me. I've been putting all my money in, all my trust in one private lender because I had always gotten the loans. So now I got to find another private lender. IRAs, great way. If you don't already have a self-directed IRA, you're going to want to consider that, because once you move your money into a self-directed IRA, there is so much, whether it's a traditional Roth, the Roth 401k, there's so much to do with tax. It's a great strategy for your retirement. That's what we do. Ruth Ann got a ton of investor loans. It's not for everybody. Still have qualifications, something to can't qualify. It's just a variety of things. It's not like you didn't have a variety of solutions lined up. Almost done. So I didn't get to writing the summary here, but hopefully this morning has been helpful in finally getting to reflect back on and realize the importance of reflecting back on last year, the good and the bad. And with this checklist, hopefully that helps you create your own blueprint for 2024. And if you have other recommendations to add to this, I'd love to have you, whether you reach out to me or Sarah, and we can update it, especially if it's in the next day or two. I'll update them into this before I publish it. So if anybody has anything, I'll be happy to take them. So tackle the new year with all your lessons learned. Can-do attitude is attitude important. And can-do attitude is going to make a break. If you're always doubting yourself, it's not sure you can do it. You kind of bummed all the time. Probably going to have a tough time accomplishing the goals. Your new goals are blueprint in hand. supportive network and community, which is what we are, right? We are here to help you. For the new folks, I wouldn't recommend you go around the family too much and say, yeah, I'm learning how to buy a house with no money. Because they're gonna do just that. They're gonna laugh at you and say, here, real, you know, so just disown them, take them out of your will. Make sure you go get that first shut up check. If you want to do for that, is get that closing check and blow it all up. Take it in the face and say, shut up. This is what I've been doing in my time. What have you been doing? Okay, so this group is important. The networking is important. Don't forget that. Very important part. So go forth and conquer. Additional references. Again, most of the stuff is on the website. There's the two blogs right there. So in this presentation, you have the reference. Stop talking and start doing. Kind of talked about that, right? Taking action. 5 things to do before investing in DFW area real estate. Get your strong foundation. So go check them both out. Please comment on, you know, cause some communications going on there in the comments. And Propelio is the comp software that I'm talking about. So we get a 14-day free trial there and 50% off. And then there's the link to the lead flow to get out of it. For the day that we talked about. All right. Good morning. Last minute questions. Come on, I know I'm going to set everything.
I'd say if anybody wants to report it on it, just let me know when and where. And I'm glad to report it on it because figure we can learn from each other and build confidence and such, you know, or even if y'all want to do some cold calling, have when we're around each other here in the room. You know, we have accountability there. And then, man, this person just cussed me out. You really bring off on this stuff. Okay. Yeah. Talk down. Yeah. Have thing or hey, it's not gonna deal with look at look at really go with it.
Accountability is important, right? So having somebody to go work with is going to be helpful too. You know, you can pull out the list. Not only look at the house, but then you can see the church right in the market. The other thing is asking not to drive up, but you don't want to drive down the south road with them. So you can go along with that quest, and then push it back over to the I load up my 1 to 10 and 12 and 12 on the field. And then I run the route. It's saves on gas, saves on time. The other thing is you gotta look at the timing too. What time are people at home? You know, Saturday afternoons are out running their errands. Well, they want to go early in the morning or they want to go late in the afternoon. So there's a whole nother strategy. Oh yeah, there's whole classes.
I like before we was talking about like schedule folder, putting in the doors and if I get to take it.
I fold it out. I fold them, I put them inside the door and I shove them in, so that way, matter of fact, if there's another door knocker there, they're on the floor. Take them up, put them tiny and off them out, put them inside.
So just closing comment here, there's no way I know that today's topic did cover all the ins and outs and details. There's just no way to do that in a short time we have. It is my intent to kind of take this theme though and continue with it throughout the year in the mastermind calls, maybe in the lunch and learn, but in the ladies group as well. So that way we can kind of take pieces of this and expand on it a little bit. The mastermind call, of course, is the second Tuesday of every month for members only. The lunch and learn is for everybody. And the ladies group currently is open to everybody, but that's probably going to go to the members only. So, yeah, if you want to continue this theme and learn how to create that blueprint for the year and set those goals a little more, we're going to be talking about that on the other call. And watch the calendar for, pop-up classes and stuff in there throughout the months. And we plan on adding some additional things in there like comps analysis, rehab analysis. Probably going to be working on setting up a wholesale workshop, probably a subject workshop, and probably some others. A what? Rehab tour. So thanks for reminding me of that. So for all the members, you're going to post your houses on your group members website. But if you get houses, I'm happy to go and do the rehab tour in your house. Use your house as a training tool. If you're okay with that, sometimes your schedule and contractors might start the rehab, maybe difficult to do that. But if you have even a couple of hours for us to do it, it doesn't take much to market it, and then we can set it up, bring everybody in, invite anybody who wants to come in and walk through the house. Those have gone quite well for the ones in the past. Anybody here been in one? John, been in? Anybody else? James? So they're pretty good events. It's great networking, but then we talk about deal analysis, repair analysis. If we have a contract with them, we're talking about the repairs a little bit more. But it's and rental. John was there, so we talked about the rental side of it, the other end of it. The last one was a rental, so we talked about that. So those are good events. And if you are open to selling a house, you might even sell it there that day. My houses have not been for sale, but we had about things to do, so sell it. All right.
Are you asking for a percentage if someone buys it?
Now that you mentioned it,
Oh,
no, if I'm doing that for you, you're a member, and
oh,
I'm doing that for you, I'm not asking.
okay.
I could if you want to think so. Consulting, marketing fee.
He does like free service.
But, again, that's another powerful part of being a member of the group. It's like the website that you get and the fact that your property, you post it, takes you a couple minutes to post it on your website, and it goes out to all the members of the group. And all the users, anybody that's ever registered with the group gets an email notice about those properties. And it helps you build a buyer's list. You're going to get calls from other investors about that property. Anybody have too many buyers on your list? Okay, I'm done. Hopefully this was good. Please go to Google. There's a link in here. I think it's a link on that QR code. Go to Google and give us a review, what you think of the group, like it, if you like what you learn, so on and so forth. It helps the next newbie looking at us with making a decision to come join us. So thank you everybody for coming and happy New Year.